So, you wanted to know about objective relativism, did you? Okay, I'll give you something to chew on. This is taken from a book called Charles Morris. Yeah, you guessed it. It's about Charles Morris mainly. And the Criticism of Discourse by some fellow Richard A. Fiordo. So I'll start with a quote by Charles Morris himself, and then I'll read a couple of paragraphs which will hopefully help you in getting through to objective relativism. Okay? Are you excited yet? Okay. Quote. Systems can, of course, have subsystems as members, or be members of a supersystem. Thus, human organisms have organs and cells as subsystems and are in turn subsystems of social systems. The relations here are reciprocal. The functioning of the subsystem is dependent upon the functioning or malfunctioning of the supersystem, which is in turn dependent upon the functioning or malfunctioning of the subsystem. Okay, let's go. Hence, the above description illustrates the interactive and interdependent nature of the human cosmos from the viewpoint of objective relativism. Objective relativism asserts primarily that although certain certain events, emerge and exist only in the presence of a percipient organism, that's an organism that perceives, these events are objective in the sense of being existential attributes of the physical object attended to. Some events are characters of objects external to the percipient organism, while the rest, although also physical, are characters of the percipient organism itself. The qualities of the object may yet be relative to an organism. The experienced world constitutes, quote, a realm of natural events emerging through the sensitivity of organisms, events no more a property of the organisms than of the things observed. End of quote. For example, quote, even in the case of a star, the characters of the star in the presence of an experiencing organism are genuine attributes of the star. Even the stars owe something, however little, to the watchers of the night. End of quote. The point is that under such conditions, the star has those characteristics which are perceived by the viewer. And Morris goes on. This does not mean that the given event is the same event that would be given if one were elsewhere, but simply that under the conditions of the organism, the medium, the finite velocity of light, the star assumes a certain character, namely the character that is seen. This character is a present character and compresent with the process of experiencing. Compresent. Objective relativism consequently includes the position, quote, quote, the position that some of the characters that things seem to have in the presence of organisms are actually the characters of things, and physical in the sense of being characters of physical things. It is also true of objective relativism that physical things are existent and causally efficacious when unperceived, potentially common to many percipients, and describable in terms of the laws of physics. In brief, that which appears owes its appearance and in part its existence to an organism. Objective relativism has implications for the pursuit of the good life, that is, for human values. Although opponents of objective relativism argue that it fails to establish standards, Morris counters accordingly. To qualify a claim that something is good by stating for whom and under what conditions it is good is not to deny that good is objective or to repudiate the role of standards. It is merely to substitute responsibility in the quest for value for an arbitrary acceptance of existing standards or an arbitrary imposition of one's own standards on others. No one would maintain that a certain diet is not good for a certain individual merely because it is not good for every person. Why then the gesture of alarm unless all persons accept the same art, the same philosophy, the same way of life? End of quote. The task of objective relativism is, in short, to have responsibility rather than arbitrariness establish human values. It is also to qualify assertions by stating explicitly the conditions under which something is affirmed to be or to be good. The right act is neither subjective caprice nor a timeless essence. Its universality is a social universality. End of quote. That is, a human standard is objectively correct in relation to certain circumstances and qualifications. Objective relativism permits common goods answering to the similarities of persons. Do I read intersubjective consensus? And individual goods answering to personal uniqueness. End of quote. It justifies a quest for a type of social unity that embraces and sustains the multiplicity of our distinctive selves. A person's unity is to be found in the interaction of his multiplicities. His search for a way of life makes up his effort to pattern his diversities and give them integrated direction. The person's social task is to build a society whose unity will lie in the interaction of all people, and the means of tolerance which allows people to search for their own lifestyle in their historical context issues from objective relativism. In summary, although a metaphysics of objective relativism is certainly relativistic, it cannot be concluded that things are not objectively what they are under given conditions, or that under certain conditions one thing is not really better than another. Objective relativism yields both diversity and unity. Truth and value do not become subjective. Rather, objective relativism works toward greater objectivity. It is the generalization of a tendency grounded in scientific method and doctrine, and is thus metaphysically extended to all features of the cosmos. Okay, I'll stop here. If you guys want to deepen this thing, you can certainly find huge excerpts of this book in Google Books. The name of the book again is Charles Morris and the Criticism of Discourse by Richard Fiordo. Okay? So, did you like it? Hope so. If you did, subscribe, rate, fave, and I'll see you all in another clip. Bye.